Well, happy Mother's Day, folks. Although, right now we have an entire segment of our population trying to hijack Mother's Day to support something that prevents you from being a mother. Of course, I'm talking about the Dobbs case at the Supreme Court, which will, in some way, impact Roe v. Wade. Now, putting aside the fact that we know Margaret Sanger was one of the most horrid racists ever, literally created an organization dedicated to aborting young African Americans before they're born. Never mind that Jane Roe or Norma McCorvey lied about being raped. Now, they just demand that, well, the Supreme Court did it, so we can't undo it. Of course, at the same breath, they also say, for old white man and a woman who thinks The Handmaid's Tale is a rom-com, when they ignore that in the 70s, the Supreme Court was 100% white and male. It's more proof every day that the left has no common sense and no logic. But here's the crux of the matter. This is exposing that the government supports anarchy. They want chaos in the street because they think if it gets bad enough, people will be cowering in their homes, and then they can step up and say, well, if you'll just surrender these rights and give up your freedom, we can protect you. And then if you'll just bow to us and just proclaim us rulers over all for all of our lives, they think it'll work. If it does get to the South, where we are more than able to embrace and exercise our Second Amendment rights, somewhere like Texas, where precedent says if you're assaulted, you're not going to be convicted of anything for defending your life. They will use that as just more proof that we are in a lawless Wild West society and we must ban guns. Never mind that the gun wouldn't have had to have been used if the criminal hadn't broken into the home or tried to otherwise kill or harm someone. But let's look back at this thing right here. We have liberals, and of course they're being called peaceful protesters, camped outside Kavanaugh's home and the other conservative justices. They're screaming and yelling and doing everything they can to harass and intimidate and threaten these justices into reversing their decision. If it was a Second Amendment case and someone was parked outside Sotomayor's home, simply holding a sign, that person would be in jail for harassment, intimidation, incitement of violence, and anything else the liberals could throw at them. But because it's conservative justices and liberals harassing them, well, no, it's just protest. Moving on from there, Pocahontas herself, Warren, was just frothing at the mouth almost, in rage, talking about how the Republicans have been working for 40 years cultivating these extremist justices, ignoring that the Democrats have been doing the same thing. They've tried multiple times to expand the court so they could pick young liberal justices and steal a majority. They're still trying to do it. Their answer to these justices just won't obey us is always pack the court, pack the court, pack the court. They just rammed through the nomination of a woman who in her confirmation hearings said, I'm not a biologist, when asked to define what a woman is. But of course now this is a women's rights issue. So they know what a woman is when they're demanding that the woman not be told she can't murder her baby. But the rest of the time they don't know what a woman is. And of course Ketanji Brown also is the one who has let pedophiles and sexual predators off with slaps on the wrist. Finally, we have one that I saw last night on TikTok, of course. Liberal beta male, with of course wild colors in his beard, said it's time for forced vasectomies. Everyone assigned male at birth will be given a vasectomy and they can later apply to have it reversed. So it's my body, my choice when you want to kill the child that's growing inside you. But it's your body, my choice for everything else. I'm waiting for one of them to claim that I have somehow assaulted them. Because I said, you will not be forcing that on me. And I will not have sex with anyone I'm not married to. As I will not date someone who is pro-abortion. I'll never marry someone who's pro-abortion, meaning that I will never sleep with someone who's pro-abortion. And I am now waiting on one of them to claim I have somehow horrifically offended and assaulted them, denied them their right. And I really hope that they pull it. Because then, when TikTok bans me, their legal department will receive a letter asking them, how is my statement that I will not allow my body to be used for sex with anyone I'm not married to? How is that in any way wrong? Because I know what their answer will be. You only said that to upset people and to force them to retract their statements, so we know you meant harm by it. Bear in mind, the liberals are also the crowd that just several years ago were the ones who tried to make reverse rape a thing. That being where the woman wants to have sex and the man says no. They were trying to equate, I want sex, but he said no, to rape. The world is getting extremely dark, folks. We know that the end days will be as in the days of Noah. Every debauchery, every thing that is anti-moral will become commonplace. It will be a world where drink all you want, do all the drugs you want, have all the sex you want, and abort the babies. It will be a world that will ultimately declare Christianity illegal. And a world where you will be told you're going to take this mark, you're going to receive it on your hand or on your forehead, you're going to worship this person who is now the leader and ruler of the world, or you will be cast out or killed. It causeth all, rich and poor, to take a mark on their right hand or their forehead, lest they be able to buy and sell. I've made it very clear, I will never do that. And I find it amazing that people come like searching me out to say, ha, look, Elon wants to put chips in people. And my response is always the same. I'm never going to spend money with any company Elon owns as long as he is anti-religious freedom. Well, you're using Twitter. I'm not spending money. I'm literally using a free service to argue against everything he wants to do in this case. They seem to think that coming up and saying, ha, look, this person that you supported in one situation doesn't do what you want in another, as if that somehow proves that I must just obey them. And that's what they're doing with abortion. They're trying everything they know to try. They're doing everything they can to pop up and say, well, see, if you won't let us abort our babies, we'll just give you a vasectomy. No, you won't. But you're denying my rights. No, I'm not. You have a right to be you. I have a right to be me. And as me, I say I'm not having sex with anyone that I'm not married to. I'm not married. I'm not having sex. I'm not dating anyone who supports abortion. As I will not marry someone I did not date for a good while, I won't be marrying anyone who supports abortion. And therefore I will never be sleeping with anyone who supports abortion. And somehow that, which is an amazing strategy to avoid pregnancies, is somehow wrong. I mean, it just amazes me, the number of people who cannot see the insanity of their, but I get my way no matter what. attitude, it won't be long before we have them at each other's throats, because one will support abortion pills, one will support Planned Parenthood, and they won't support the other in that the other person's idea, and they'll decide that each other, even though they're both extreme left liberals, well, the other person's the most evil person on the planet, and they deserve to die. If you need any more proof that liberals are quite literally the party of, you will obey me or we will kill you, then you need only look at what's going on with the Dobbs case and what's going on with the Amber Heard case. I would almost swear she took a hit of cocaine on the stand based on how she blew her nose. She keeps just doing everything she can to stare Johnny in the eye, and he won't make eye contact with her. She said on the stand that she has never used cocaine, but medical records from people who have examined her said that they found cocaine in her system. I mean, she crapped on his bed. He's missing a finger. There's audio recordings of her saying, "I'm not punching, I'm hitting. I'm hitting you." I mean, for Christ's sake, she got horribly mad at him for taking off his own damn boots. That is a narcissistic trait. Someone who says, no, you're not going to take off your own shoes. You're not going to make your own drink. You're not going to do this. That's me. I do that. I would have walked out the door. There's audio of Johnny trying to leave, and she's doing everything she can to prevent him leaving. That is narcissism right there. Pure and simple. But because Amber is female, oh, no. Johnny just has to be guilty. He just has to. There's no other possibility. It just blows my mind that we have people on this planet who can look at a situation and say, well, no, none of that matters. Amber's a woman. We have to believe her. We could have video of her trying to stab him, and they would say it doesn't matter. We have to believe women. He must have done something to her to make her want to do that. They will excuse anything for a liberal woman. But when it's Tara Reid or Juanita Broderick, no. They're not. They don't represent women, so we're not going to believe them. We are living in the last moments before the end of days, or the very first moments of the end of days. This world has embraced the lie of Satan so fully that there is no possibility that we're not either just right up at the edge of the end of days or already in it. When you have a world where people honestly believe, if you don't let me kill my baby, I'll kill you. If you don't let me kill my baby, I will not let you have a life. Or people who believe, well, Amber's a woman, she couldn't be lying. That evidence was faked. I'm honestly waiting on her to claim that the audio of her telling Johnny all that she said on those audios, that's a deep fake. That wasn't me. Somebody faked my voice. Her lawyer has objected to everything he could, including one of his own questions. I mean, it's literally a liar moment. He asks a question, and when Johnny starts to answer, objection, hearsay. The judge actually had to say, but it was your question. I mean, it's almost like he just wants the jury to hear the questions, and that's it. They're not allowed to get an answer. I mean, this case should have been called for depth so early on, because it's obvious that Heard is not going to let anything happen that will even minimally make her look like the monster she is. I don't know, folks. All I know is that we've been told in the Bible what to watch for in the end of days. Wars, rumors of wars, famine, plague, pestilence. Every vice praised. Every debauchery. It's fine. Do whatever feels good, man. We're living in those days. And there's really only one thing that I can say about it, because we're not going to stop it. I've talked about this before. We see television shows like Lucifer that paint hell as some giant therapy session. Shows like Sleepy Hollow or The Messengers, where you can stop the end of days. This is Lucifer in action, just doing everything possible to continue the big lie that, well, you're not really going to go to hell. Hell doesn't exist. Or hell's just a therapy session. You'll get there and then we'll help you get over your own guilt. Because it's really only you feeling guilty that put you here. We'll help you get over that. And then you can go to heaven. None of that is true. The only way to heaven is Christ. I am the way, the truth, and the light. No man comes to the Father but through me. And once you do, he said he will never leave you nor forsake you. But folks, it's not going to be an easy road. It was never meant to be an easy road. The world is going to hate you because they hated him first. Quite literally demanded that a murderer be freed rather than Christ. And Pilate said, I can find no wrong, when referring to Jesus. But Satan whipped up the crowd to free Barabbas. I can only wonder how many people Barabbas went on to kill after Satan got him let off of that charge that he was on. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But anyway, I've talked long enough. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. If you're here from TikTok or Clapper, please consider subscribing. I am trying to grow this channel here because I feel like I have knowledge that I can share, and I'm a historian. I have read the Bible many times. I am not an expert. I'm not a theologian. Just a guy who likes to study history, and I'm just a Christian who doesn't want to see people go to hell. But I'm not perfect. You'll have a wonderful rest of your day and have a wonderful week. God bless.